To this story, patients at the Witpoort Hospital in Lephalale in Limpopo are being evacuated due to the overflowing Palala Dam following the recent heavy rainfall. Health Department spokesperson Shikwambana says the hospital is being closed to ensure the safety of patients, staff and the public. Shikwambana has advised patients to seek treatment at nearby clinics such as Shongoane, Seleka and Abbotspoort. He says the emergency cases can be referred to Ellisras Hospital. SABC News reporter Pimani Baloyi is joining us live from Lephalale right now. Pimani, thank you so much for your time. Yet another hospital that is seeing flooding, but on a day where everyone in the country is celebrating matrics. Can you confirm that any high schools first have been affected by this flooding?
Good afternoon, Diabo, and good afternoon to our viewers. Yes, I can confirm, Diabo, we'll have a fuller picture tomorrow, the first day of this academic year when learners go back to schools, the extent of this damage when it comes to affecting schooling in this area. But what we're gathering from residents and as parents go to various schools across the province to fetch books ahead of that start of the academic year, parents are unable to get to some schools in this area. But tomorrow the Department of Education will give a fuller picture in terms of which areas are worst affected, which schools are unreachable. But as you were stating, Tia, we were talking about that Witpoort Hospital in this area. I'm about 10 kilometers from that hospital. We started off at that hospital. This morning, the Limpopo Department of Health informed citizens that it would be evacuating patients from that hospital. What that means is that patients whose conditions have improved have been discharged to go home. We managed to speak to some taxi operators in the area who were telling us that they are ferrying some of these patients to various destinations in and around Seleka, and stating that some of the reason is that there are some areas that are impassable, they can't reach them. But the department also stating that patients that are in worse off conditions that still need, medical attention will be moved to other hospitals, including the Ellisras Hospital, which is about a few kilometers from that Witpoort Hospital. But as we were speaking to officials at that hospital, there are two main reasons for that evacuation. When we got there, Diabo, the water had subsided. So what we were told is that there are two dams that are around that hospital's facility, this Seleka area, which burst their banks due to this heavy rainfall. And the water from those two dams flowed into the Palala River. And the Palala River from the hospital, we are told, the perimeter of the fence perimeter of that hospital is about 20 meters from that Palala River. So the water flew into the hospital, and which now the overflowing, the nurses' quarters was completely overflooded this morning. And some proximity of the general ward was also overflooded. The parking area where we was also overflooded. But as I was saying, Diabo, at around this time, the water level has subsided because the rain is no longer falling right now. But we've been told there's about 40% of rainfall this evening and around 100% of rainfall tomorrow. But the second reason for that evacuation, from what we gather from management of that hospital, is that most of their staff members cannot reach that area because they stay in areas that have been flooded, and taxis, as taxi drivers were telling us, cannot move from such flooded areas. But Diabo, before, let me now move to where I am. I'm in a household here. As you can see behind me, that house is completely flooded, and residents have been assisting this family move furniture from that house to other areas that are in better conditions. Let me bring in Sis Venetia, who's the sister to the homeowner. My sister, what's happening here and where's this furniture being taken to?
What's happening here is we received a call from the neighbors that our house is in floods. We're moving the furniture from Witpoort, where the house is flooded also. Then now we have to move it again to Seleka in Seleka for my house.
Is anybody injured? I see furniture, neighbors came together, but are there any injuries that were sustained?
No injuries.
Other neighbors as well. I'm seeing other houses are also fully flooded.
Yeah, is that happening now? Like everything is, everywhere is water, so
Yes, Tiabo, as you can see, the Palala River has completely overflown and many residents in and around this area are living in overly flooded areas. You can see the houses behind me flooded in water, and residents have come together to try and assist each other, move furnitures out. We've seen vans coming here, things like your fridges and your washing machines have been moved from this, and residents are assisting with that. Diabo?
Thank you so much, Pimani Baloyi, for that update. We'll keep in touch with Pimani throughout the SABC bulletins to find out how that story is progressing.